Man, this went viral on Twitter, and it got a lot of people upset, but it's also very interesting. And I particularly took a lot of interest in it because a couple of years ago, I remember something trending that even the Young Turks covered it, and they were absolutely livid about it. And the thing was, if you had a time machine and could go back in time, and you find baby Hitler, assuming that by smothering him you would prevent World War II, would you do it? So taking away, all the logical things, it's like, well, one person, even if Hitler, is not responsible for World War II because it's an ideology, and even if you were to take him away from history, you would have other people that could take his place. So, like, let's take that out of the equation. Let's just focus on the fact, like, okay, well, if you smothered baby Hitler in the crib, then you avoid World War II. Would you do it? And it was really interesting. Almost every single leftist said yes, absolutely. Like, it wasn't any moral debate, even though we're talking about a baby who, at that time, wouldn't have committed any of the atrocities. But then there were also other people that said, well, if you change history, that doesn't necessarily mean that you change it for the better. I think that Red Alert actually takes that into consideration, where you have a scenario and you actually do kill Hitler, but the Soviet Union becomes much more powerful, and because of the time that passes and the technological advancements, now the Soviets are a force to be reckoned with, and you still have World War II, but it's even more devastating. That's the story of the video game Red Alert 2. And again, like, you have a lot of people that say, well, yeah, but like changing history, it could influence the present with very negative consequences, so it's best to leave the past the way it was. And of course, you have the actors, especially Cenk Uygur, going, it's like, what do you mean you would bother baby Hitler? Of course you would, of course you would. So, that was that. It was very interesting, but now this moral dilemma is even more compelling, because you got Naruto, and if you look at Naruto, he's got the personality, and like, it is definitely the type of character that would do this. Like, he would fight all the Wehrmacht and enrich Hitler's bunker, and then be like, Adolf, it's not too late, we can end this now. With the power of friendship, believe it. So obviously it's a joke, right? Like, obviously it's satirical in nature. And the question is, if you could have Naruto befriend Hitler before he commits the atrocities, well, actually, I guess, like, he would commit some atrocities, right? Because we can end this now, it's not too late. So like, he would probably put something in motion, but it's not the end of the war yet, right? So you could still save millions of lives, potentially. Would that be moral? Would it be okay for Naruto to do this? And what I found bizarre and very interesting, because I remember, like, some of the accounts and some of the names of the people that had no problem with smothering babies, they really hated this idea. And they can't really articulate as to why that is. And I'm like, yeah, but like, if Naruto would have saved him and the atrocities were prevented, surely that's a good thing. Like, surely that would be a positive thing, right? And no. And it's like so weird, right? Because at the end of the day, I was also talking about this on the Archcast, and I was saying that I learned more right-wing messages from anime than I learned from Matt Walsh, the church, other political commentators, school, and all the other things combined. Like, anime actually do teach you right-wing messages, and this one that you see right here is the idea of forgiveness and redemption, right? Like, it's a very Christian message at the end of the day. Like, it takes a lot to forgive someone. And like, Naruto obviously is a fictional character, and, he is the embodiment of absolute good. Like, he forgives everyone, he even forgives pain in his universe. And it's the whole thing about breaking the cycle of hatred. It's the idea that, well, yeah, but like, these people created bad things in the past, so now we're hateful in the present, and in the future, other people will be hateful on us for what we did now. So there's like this cycle, this wheel, and in order to break the wheel, you gotta offer, like be the first to offer forgiveness. Be the first to try and stop the cycle of hatred. And that's pretty much what Naruto is, which is why it kind of makes sense in this character. But I don't know if Western values now, and when I say Western values, I mean the Anglosphere, I mean Hollywood, Netflix, the media. I don't think they want to promote even the very concept of forgiveness. Or like, okay, well, it's in the past, let's set it aside. Let's give it one more chance. Like just the idea of giving a second chance to someone doesn't exist. Like, we got cancellations. Oh, he said the racist joke 10,000 years ago. Oh, he did this bad thing. Like, I'm not talking about Hitler now, but I'm just saying, you know, like, you find someone that did something repugnant, and, you know, he apologizes, but we're going to make sure that he gets fired anyway, that he gets ostracized from society, and there is no more way for that person to come back. There is no more forgiveness. There is no more extending the hand, and this causes people to be resentful. Like, they still exist, and the more people you cancel, the more likely it is that they will gather amongst each other, and eventually the wheel will turn. And we see this with feminism. Like back in 2016, feminists were on top of the internet. J.K. Rowling was on her high horse, and she was casting down moral judgment on all the bigots. And now the wheel has changed, and J.K. Rowling is not on the top of the internet, and other people are casting moral judgment on her, and apparently there are people that even report her to the Scottish police in order to try to get her arrested and all of that. And again, like, the point is that there is no incentive of forgiveness. It's like, no, like, this person did bad in the past, so now that they have it coming to them in the present, and then our children will have bad things happen to them because of what we did, so on and so forth. Attack on Titan is another great anime that talks about this and explains, like, this cycle of hatred, of repeating history. It's actually very concerning. But anyway, what would you do? Like, do you think it would be moral? Again, ignore everything else and simplify it to just this moral proposition where you have a man that's responsible for World War II, and you can send Naruto in the past, but like during the middle of the war, right? So like some atrocities were committed, not all of them though, and if Naruto talks this guy out, you can save hundreds of millions of lives. Would you think that's moral or not? That's a really interesting moral dilemma, which, again, like, a lot of people seem to have an easy time answering without even thinking. They're either on one side or another, but I think it's a little bit more complex, right? Because, like, he did do bad things, but you can prevent him from continuing doing bad things until it's finished. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. I'm actually interested in this one. If you, for whatever bizarre reason, want to support the channel, there is a link into the pinned comment. It takes you to my Patreon or my PayPal. And there's also another link to my live stream. Yes, I live stream every day. So, again, if for some mysterious reason you want to hear more of me, click there, subscribe, and I'll see you there. Take care.